Did you know Amazon will permit its cloud computing service to be deployed to help a zombie combat zone that could result in the fall of organized civilization? According to Alexander Samuel in her 2018 Wall Street Journal, it does. I've been researching this issue of not reading the terms and agreements extensively, trying to understand what we are agreeing to and how those companies are taking advantage of our information and privacy. Have you ever wondered why you get so many spam emails, or you're talking about something, put up on your phone 5 minutes later? It's because our privacy is being breached and we have agreed to it without realizing. By the end of this speech, y'all will realize the risk of not reading the terms and agreements, understand what these companies are doing with your information, and a good idea of a solution. This leaves the question, why are consumers not reading the terms and agreements? We as consumers have been conditioned to accept these terms without having any real idea of what we're agreeing to. Matthew McCoy, a professor at Perelman School of Medicine, among other authors, stated in a 2023 article, individuals now find it increasingly difficult to maintain genuine control over information they share with companies. He noted that it's hard for them to comprehend how various entities, even those without direct connections to the consumer, are able to repackage, resell, and reuse their data. Unless you have all the time in the world to read these lengthy documents and understand what they're actually saying, you just give up and hit accept and move on with what you're trying to do. This leaves a huge power gap between the companies and their consumers. Why is this a threat to us? The problem is these companies are almost twisting your arm. For example, when I was trying to do research for this speech, I had to put my email in to get access to this New York Times article. And it was either I put my email in or I don't get access to the information at all. DJ Solve, a professor at George Washington University Law School, said in the 2024 Boston Lab Review, "Consent works moral magic. It transforms things that would be illegal and immoral into lawful and legitimate practice. As to privacy, consent authorizes a wide range of data collection. The United States uses a notice and choice approach. Organizations post a notice of their many terms and agreements, and the people have a right to either accept the terms and continue doing business with the organization or opt out. By agreeing to these terms, you are signing a contract which leaves you with little power if your information is misused." According to a Georgia State article done by Mara Thompson in 2020, Facebook was fined $5 billion by the FTC for deceiving users about their ability to control the privacy of their personal data. To put that in perspective, Facebook is worth $1.46 trillion, and they were fined about 0.3% of their total net worth for taking advantage of everyday Americans. Big tech companies hold too much power, and even government intervention is limited, leaving individuals vulnerable to data breaches without accountability. In Europe, the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, helps balance power between companies and users, but the US lacks similar regulation. As a result, big tech can control information and silence dissenting voices, as seen in numerous cases. What is the solution to helping regulate this, and how do we get privacy back to the people? The first choice is obvious. It's to fully read and understand these lengthy documents, which, as I explained earlier, is completely unrealistic. In her 2019 article, Alexander Samuel, journalist for the Wall Street Journal, said, "Some third-party software is trying to fill the gap for the now. Didn't Read provides a browser extension that offers an analysis of terms and services for about 100 sites, including Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Once you install the extension, you will see a little colored beacon in your browser bar when you visit one of their sites, giving you an easy-to-understand explanation of what you're agreeing to and a rating of if those agreements are good for you, if they're have some stuff they're trying to sneak on you. I think this is a great idea and the most realistic solution. Just in the past couple of years, we have seen how AI has changed the world, and I don't see why it can't change this as well. The final solution would be for the U.S. government to get rid of the all or nothing policy and to adopt some of the systems in place by the GDPR in Europe, which, as I said earlier, helps regulate sites. I hope I've shown you all the risk of not understanding the terms and agreements and how it could affect you with no protection from malintent from these companies. Consumers have become accustomed to neglecting the terms and agreements, leading to a loss of privacy. This ignorance allows companies to operate in ways that misuse our information legally, shifting power away from individuals. The solution of using AI third-party browser extension to explain and rate each of these terms and agreements is almost a perfect solution. And additionally, eliminating the all or nothing policy can help restore some of the control of consumers over their data. Technology is only going to become a bigger and bigger part of everyday life. We can see a huge jump after COVID with using technology not just for personal enjoyment, but for work and school as well, which almost leaves you with no choice but to work with these big tech companies. We have the right to protect our right of privacy, and just because it's digital does not make it any different from real life.